Hello class 9, this is Yasir Azam. I am going to continue the chapter Why Do We Fall In? We are doing this chapter with full zeal and enthusiasm. And till now we have completed the sixth part and this will be the last part of the chapter. In previous videos we have discussed health disease, types of disease, modes of transmission, portal related, non-portal related diseases and all other parts. Only two things are left, that is specific ways of prevention of infectious diseases and vaccination. So let us start with the topic specific ways of prevention of infectious diseases. Now, as the name suggests, in previous video we have discussed about the general ways of prevention, in which we have discussed about general ways like balanced diet, clean water, clean food, personal hygiene, personal cleanliness, and along with that public health measures we had discussed. But now it is specific. Specific, the term itself suggests we are going to be specific against the, in favor of prevention. So what are the specific ways? When we talk about the specific ways, there are basically two categories. There is external defense against the microbe and another is internal defense against the microbe. Okay, I'm not writing full because I want to give more content for understanding. So just listen it carefully, concentrate on listening. In case of external defense against the pathogen, what we are going to discuss, the term external itself suggests outside. Okay, outside of what? Outside our body. Like we are having skin, that is the waxy epidermis of our skin. You can touch your nose here and this side and you will feel a sticky substance is there. That is wax, that is sebum basically, okay, which protects you from the microbes, because it do not allow the microbes to pass through your skin. Along with that, there are other categories also. I'll step by step will go. In external, it is also called first line of defense. Okay, first line of defense. The very first is waxy epidermis skin. Waxy epidermis skin. Another is in external, what it would be. Just think of it. Just stand like this and think what your body constitutes of. It is a skin, nasal passage, your ears, okay, whatever the entry points are, your mouth. So through these points only your microbe will enter in your body, not your microbe. The microbe or pathogen will enter in your body. So if these passages contain something which can protect you, just like start from your ear. Your ear produces bactericidal wax. Basically ear wax we call it. What it does, it do not allow bacteria to grow, or it burns the cell wall of the bacteria. The same thing happens with the waxy substances produced from our skin, different parts. Like I have told you, this sebum, this also does the same thing. Like when we get, when we touch our eye, by mistake if we hit our eye, so it starts secreting tears, because it gives signal to brain that something foreign substance has entered, so tears are there. So why tears are produced? Because tears contain lysosomes. As I have told you in previous chapter also, lysosome what they are? They are called as suicidal bags. They kill the bacteria or microbe. Okay, so lysosomes are present in the tears. So it also act as a defense mechanism. So tear, earwax, your nose contain mucus and cilia. They also protect you. Along with that, when we talk about stomach, suppose we take food which is contaminated, containing some microbe, it has been introduced with microbe, like a pizza maker or anybody in the hotel is infected and spread the infection in that particular food which you are eating. So what will happen? You will get infected, but no, your body will try to protect you. How? Your stomach produces HCl. Your stomach produces HCl. So your stomach is not harmed with the production of HCl because it is protected by a mucus lining. But this HCl kills the microbes which you have taken through your food. Okay. So basically it is also a first line of defense. It protects you. Okay. So basically what we have understood in first line of defense, the very first one was your waxy epidermis skin. Another was your tears which contain lysosomes. Your nose contains cilia and mucus. earwax. So these are basically first line of defense. First line of defense, primary defense, or first line of defense, you can say external defense. Your external body is protecting you. So external means the exposed part also, you can say, like your eyes is exposed to air, your ears are having entry points, your nose are having nasal passage, your mouth is having food entry. So these all passages contain some defense mechanisms. What they are, you have understood this. Now coming to the internal defense mechanism of the body. What happens if some foreign particles enters in your body? Then it is acted upon by the WBCs. So internal defense mechanism include WBC. They are also called white blood cells or leukocytes. They basically are the defense cells which basically protect you from the antigens. What is antigen? Any foreign substance entering in your body. Might be a protein, okay, carbohydrate, it might be something which is entering in your body from external to internal organs. Like you are taking it through your nasal passage and through lungs, it is going to get spread into the blood. So your WBCs recognizes the foreign particles and immediately act on it. Okay. So WBCs की one of the category is phagocytic WBCs. Phagocytotic. They basically engulf this antigen and then break down it, burst itself, kill it. So basically it is also a type of protection, one of the immune cell. Okay, then two other categories are there, two other types of cells also there, immune cells. We call them as B lymphocytes, and T lymphocytes. Why I am saying this every time the chapter is interesting? Because it is related to your own body. And right now the epidemic has opened a lot of door of your brains for thinking the sanitation, for immunity, everything you have heard. So it will be a interesting topic. It is definitely it is going to give you some boost for studying this topic. B lymphocytes, what they are doing, they basically produces the antibodies. Antibodies against what? They produces the antibodies against this antigen which is entering in your body. So which of the cell produce the antibodies? This question might be asked. So you will simply answer the antibodies are produced from B lymphocytes. Okay. So you can see on the screen the function of B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produces antibodies on coming in contact with foreign antigen or any pathogen. The antibodies are Y-shaped protein bodies that bind to specific antigen and destroy them. They provide antibody-mediated immunity. Okay, so what did you understand? Which type of immunity they provide? They provide antibody-mediated immunity. Now coming to the T lymphocytes. Look on the screen. T lymphocytes either attack pathogens directly or produce chemicals which coordinate the activity of all other cells of immune system. They include helper T cells and suppressor T cells. They are further of two categories. The T lymphocytes, they are helper T cells and suppressor T cells. They basically all the cells, they WBCs, T lymphocytes, different categories like helper cell and suppressor cell. They all constitute the immune system. This all include to form your immunity. Immunity is what? It is a defense mechanism of the body against the pathogen. Okay. So this is all about the internal defense against the microbe. One of the topic is also there. What is memory cell? Memory cell. Memory cell क्या होती है बेटा? They are formed with the help of B lymphocytes as well as some of the T lymphocytes. What happened? They basically produces antibodies which remains in your body. When the same infection, because of which your antibodies were produced, if the same infection reoccurs to you, so these memory cells will form the antibodies in large quantity. It will protect you from getting the same infection again. That's why if you get the smallpox, chickenpox once in your life, so it becomes very difficult to happen again because they form the memory cell which protect you or give you hidden immunity. Okay. So this was all about the specific ways of prevention of infectious diseases. Now the next topic is vaccination. So let me clean the board. Wait for a second. Okay, so the next and the last topic for the chapter is vaccination. What is vaccination? It is basically a way of preventing our body from getting the infectious diseases. It is a defense mechanism, development of defense mechanism against the infectious diseases. How it will be done and what is the process involved in it? Okay, so when we talk about the vaccination, the process involved in it is the injection or inoculation of the weakened pathogens inside the host body or the person to whom we want to vaccinate, to that person's body. It basically what does, it produces the antibodies against that particular pathogen. Okay, weakened or inoculation of harmless microbe. Okay, how does it happen? We remove the harmful part, we take some of the protein of the virus causing particular disease, inoculate in one's body. So what happens? The body recognizes, WBCs get active, your immune system get active and start producing the antibodies. So this is one way of protecting or developing the defense mechanism against the pathogen. Okay, so this is what? This is going to do what? This is going to give you immunity basically. Okay, you must have heard about this word vaccination number of times in your life. So what is the purpose of vaccination? When you heard the purpose of vaccination, basically the purpose is development of immunity against the pathogen. Okay, against any kind of disease. Which kind of disease? Infectious disease. When many number of vaccines have been developed, this we will discuss just after a few minutes. So what basically we need to do is, there are two categories of immunities. One is natural, another is acquired. Naturally, how you will get immune? Suppose if I come in contact with any infectious disease and I recover. So how I have recovered? By development of antibodies naturally inside my body. I have not taken that particular pathogen in the form of injection and then I have developed the immunity. I have taken naturally, I have suffered from that particular disease and I have developed the immunity against that particular disease. This is the natural immunity. Natural, nature, it's so simple. There's no rocket science in this, in understanding the natural immunity. In case of acquired, the term acquired itself says that acquisition of immunity. We have acquired the immunity. How? With the help of vaccination. What we do in the vaccination, we inject the vaccine that promotes or help in the growth of antibodies. Now see some points on the screen regarding the vaccination. Okay, simply we can say it is of two types, means the immunity which has been developed from vaccination is of two types, induced and natural. Induced is only acquired. Okay, both are nearly same, induced or acquired we can say. In right, induced dose. Two categories are there. Now description of vaccine we will discuss. How it has been happened. There was a scientist, Edward Jenner. He has discovered the vaccine. There was an incident behind this for the in case of discovery of vaccine. There was an incident. Let us see on the screen. The incident is there on the screen. The Edward Jenner, basically in 1796, he was he has discovered the vaccine while treating a smallpox patient. British physician Edward Jenner found that milkmaids who had developed cowpox do not catch the smallpox even during the epidemics. So he thought if some material from cowpox sore is injected into some healthy person, they should not develop the smallpox. To his surprise, what he thought was right, as a person inoculated with material from cowpox sore become immune to smallpox. So this was just his hypothesis, just his parikalpana, which he has bring into the reality, and now the vaccination has become very important part of our life. Like you must have heard about the very small kids, they used to go for vaccination in hospital at regular interval of time. So there are certain vaccines which we know about it, anti-rabies vaccine, okay, which is used against the rabies. There are certain vaccines you can see on the screen as well. BCG vaccine, which is against the tuberculosis. DPT vaccine, which is against the diphtheria. And hepatitis B vaccine, naturally it is against the hepatitis B. Measles vaccine, it is against the measles. Oral polio vaccine, it is also called OPV, it is against the poliomyelitis. Then TT vaccine, T for thyroid, thyroid and typhoid both, but it is for typhoid. Okay, don't get confused. TT vaccine is used against the typhoid. And next vaccine is your H1N1 It was again the viral fever H1N1. So this was all about the chapter which we have discussed, and I hope you must have understood the chapter as it is very interesting. Although if you find any confusion, you can just go through the video again and again, read the books. Without reading book, you cannot understand the chapter in a proper way, because just make reading your habit, because when we keep on reading, we keep on recalling, we keep on growing. Thank you everyone.